Hello and welcome to Brian's Got Game. I'm Brian. Today I've got a game called Unreal Estate. Unreal Estate is a 2 to 5 player card drafting game by Jason Slingerland and published by Grand Gamers Guild. In this game, players select cards depicting fantastical buildings in hopes that they can score big later on. Your score is multiplied by how many cards you have in your hand, as well as how many are in the scrap pile. This game has both drafting and set collection mechanics, but is really all about timing. So let's check it out, and I'll show you how to draft buildings such as the Halfling House, the Dwarven Tavern, and the Enchanted Castle, when to score your set, and how to mix it up with the special building cards in Unreal Estate. Setup, place the board into the center of the table, then place each player's colored pawns on the 0 marks. So, these are the 10s and the 1s. So if you get 12 points, you will... There we go, that's better. If you get 12 points, you move 10 and 2. That shows 12. If you just get 10 points, you just move it up 10 or 20. Then deal 2 cards to each player. So 1, 1, 1, 1. We're playing a 4-player game. Then create the scrap pile. So I'm going to put these up here. So we're going to use 5 cards. So Enchanted Castle. That's early. There's down here it shows how many of the card there is, the name of the card and the art. So there's only 4 of these in the entire deck. And then it looks like that, and then that's the name. And then that's how many points it is if you score it. Or for one of them. I'll explain more on scoring later. So, Enchanted Castle. Elven Treehouse. Dwarven Tavern, so this one has 5 and this one has 10. Armory. And Elven Treehouse. So if you get 2, you just stack them. Alright, then add 6 of these special building cards. So there are a couple of repeats, but these are blue, but basically they add extra things in the game. So, to make every single game different. So we're going to take 6 of these. Then we take these 6 and then shuffle them into the normal deck. So, then place the draw deck on the left side within reach of all players. Then draw from the top and lay out 5 cards for the proposal board. So we've got Dwarven Tavern, Magic Item Shop, Halfling House, another Halfling House, and the first blue card, Goblin Bank. So what this one does is you get to take it and keep it in your hand and play when you want. So score 1 point for each card in the scrap pile. Do not clear the scrap pile. So when the scrap pile is big and you have that card, you want to play it and then score points for it. I think I once scored like 21 points for it. And then people cleared it the next turn. Then the player who is the most fantastic goes first, so that would be me, but I'm not playing. So then you are now ready to begin. So on your turn, you must do an action, starting with the first player, then going clockwise. And then, so the actions are you can draft a card, play a blue special card, or score. So depending on what you have in your hand, it will depend on what you draft. So, now there is a bit of strategy in this game on which cards you pick up and which cards you don't. So I'm just going to play it safe and pull up this blue card because those are really cool. There's only 6 of them in the game right now. So pick that up. Now it's this player's turn. Take a look at their cards. And they are going to take the Dwarven Tavern. Now, depending on what they take, they will do different things. So now I'm going to explain scoring. So to score, you take the cards in your hand, and you multiply them all together. So, 2 times the amount you have. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then you multiply that by the number of cards up here. So 4 times 1 is 4. Then you'd score 4 points, and then discard all of them, including the one in there. Now, another thing about that is, if I had left it and had it move up, I would have multiplied the ones in my hand, so 1 by 1 times 2 is 2. So, picking it up is a better option. Now, if you have a bunch in your hand and you want them to come up to multiply it by more, that's another thing. So if I let another one go up there, it is 12 points. Well, no, 8 points. If another one goes up, then it would be 12. Alright, so now it's this player's turn. So this player was going to pick up the Dwarven Tavern. They're going to take up a Halfling House. Then this player will take the Magic Item Shop. So now that's the end of the round. So then this, all the stuff that wasn't picked up, sometimes there'd be more if people did the other actions, you move them up. So halfling house. Now the first player moves, and then you lay out 5 more cards. There's the enchanted castle. 2 of them in the first. Usually it takes way longer for them to come out. 4 and 5. So you can guess that this player is going to take the halfling house or the enchanted castle. Not much of a choice there. This player will take the halfling house. No. They will take, what's good? Elven tree house is good. They'll take the elven tree house. This player will look at here. He has a tree house. He was going to take it. He could score to stop this player from scoring. So I'm going to do that. So I play this. So 6 times 1 is 6 times 2 is 12. So this player is, let's say, purple. So 10, 2. That's the exact example I used earlier. So now all the 6s that are in the scrap pile and the ones that you played get moved to the discard pile. There are only 5 6s. So there are 3 here and 1 in here. So now there's only 1 left for this player to score. So that was very smart for this player to do. Now it's this player's turn, and he will pick up the armory. Alright, now these 2 move up. Okay, this moves. Lay out 5. Enchanted Castle, the 3rd one? They're all coming out early. So, there is 1 last enchanted castle in there. So, there's not much of a chance. So they're going to pick this up, obviously. And now this player is going to take, let's take, take a Dwarven Tavern. And then this player will take the armory. And then this player will score his enchanted castle to stop the other player. So 8 times 1 is 8 times 1 is 8. So these are cleared. And orange gets 8 points. So orange on 8. Now these cards move up. And then we lay out 5 more. So play continues, drafting these cards and playing them until this entire deck is gone in the discard pile, up in the scrap pile, in player's hands. So at that point, everybody gets 1 more turn to score and get points. And then, at that point, the player with the most points wins. That's how to play Unreal Estate. Okay, got my dad here for a pair's opinion. So Dad, what do you think of Unreal Estate?
I love Unreal Estate. I'm a sucker for card games and drafting. And so this one hits on both of those cylinders for me. It's fast, which is also a plus.
Yes. So, Unreal Estate, the components. I'm going to start with the box. The box is cool, nice, thick, and it has awesome artwork on the front. The cards, they have linen finish. So, linen finish cards, those are nice. The different player color tokens, I mean, they're wood and they're cool. They were some of them were kind of slanted, but cool wooden tokens, colored. And then the board. So the board I kind of thought was kind of unnecessary. You could have just had a pad of paper and write down the scores. But it was kind of cool how they had the 10s and the 1s and then the awesome art on the board also.
Yeah, it's a great place to showcase Corinne Roberts' artwork. I will say that. But you're right. Like, there is no need for the board. You could just keep track of the score. And we haven't ever scored over 100.
Nope.
I guess that's possible. They add those 100+ cards in there. But all the times we've played, it's been up in the like 40s, 40s. Yeah. But yeah, they did a really good job on the components. This was a Kickstarter. And I don't remember what was unlocked through stretch goals, but I think quality-wise, they did a solid job.
All right, so the first player token is cool. So it's wooden, and then it has cool stickers that goes on it, but it's wooden, and it is really cool. So,
Yep.
Yeah. So artwork, like you said, Corinne Roberts. So she did a phenomenal job on the artwork. Every single different type of card is different. All of the different blue cards is different art. So much awesome art in this.
Yeah.
Now, this game also came out with an Unreal Estate art book, and it had all of the different...
Do you have it? Go get it.
All right. All right, got it. So, the art of Unreal Estate. Watercolors of Corinne Roberts. So, in the book, it has the final artwork, a sketch of the final artwork, and kind of what
the first
concept of what they were thinking for it. And then it has that for, I think,
for every single piece of art.
every single piece of art in the entire game.
This book does not come with the game, but if you're ever at a convention and Grand Gamers Guild is there, or if you are a friend of Mark Spector, call him up and get a copy of this. It's very, very cool art book.
Yeah. So it has.
And for those companies that do like to showcase their art, this is a great idea. I really like seeing the concept, from the very beginnings to see what it is, the final product. Very cool.
Yes. So, artwork. So, strategy. This game has a very fine balance of trying not to cross the line, of picking up cards and letting them pass. Now, if you let it pass, there's a possibility of another player picking it up. So, you do get the same multiplier, whether you pick it up or you put it down, but it has to be in the scrap pile, and somebody else has to not score it to do it. Now, if one player is collecting a whole bunch of, let's say, threes, and then you have a couple threes, there's no more threes left, and you only have a couple, you're not going to get very many points for it, but the other player is going to get a ton of points for it. You might want to just score it so they don't get a bunch of points, so you can either stay ahead or make it easier for you to catch up.
Yeah, it's not super deep strategy because it's just a card game and it's real fast. But like you said, there's a great balance. Do I score now? Do I take that one? Do I let it move up to the scrap pile and potentially increase my score, or do I mess up my neighbor? Very, very cool balance there. And
to tip the balance and try to add a little bit of fixing it or whatever, it adds. And to make all the games different, you add in a set number of these blue cards. So these blue cards have different times you can play them. Like you take them and then you use them when you want. You do it when you buy it, or you do it when it comes out.
Yeah, the special abilities I think are super cool and really makes the game different every time.
So you pick a set number of this big stack of them, and then...
And there's like 2 of each one, I think. But you're right, some of the actions happen when it shows up in the proposal board. Some of them you do when you draft it, and then the other ones you can save it and put it back. And then those ones get to be picked back up again.
Some of them are like that.
Some of them
are not. So, strategy. Easy for kids. Like you said, this game isn't super complicated because it's a card game. It does have the strategy of with the fine balance and
so
they could probably play it, but they probably won't win.
Right. And for that purpose, I don't think I would play it with grade school, maybe 5th, 6th graders, so 10 and up probably. Would be a right age for this one. The mechanics themselves are easy.
Yes.
But catching the little nuances of the strategy would be a little bit difficult.
Yes. So overall, it's a great game. Good components. I can't say anything more about the artwork. They did a great job on the artwork. Strategy, it's easy for kids. Unreal Estate.
Yeah, go check this one out. Unreal Estate by Grand Gamers Guild, and definitely get the art book.
Definitely, if you have the option. Thank you for watching Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet at Brian's Got Game. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian. See you next time. If you have a friend going to a convention, ask your friend to pick this up for you.